Have you ever wanted to upgrade that plastic bumper and get you a beautiful chrome bumper and put it on a Volvo? Well, hang around and check out this video to learn exactly how to do that. All right, so that bumper is going bye-bye. I've shown it to you before. It's got all kind of cracks right there. You see them right there. It's broken in half. The corners are cracked. So we're going to replace it, and also we're going to replace the grille. The grille is broken like 3 places around the edges. Plus the bottom's all wore out and everything else. So we're going to replace it as well. So we got our new bumper here. We got our new grille right there. Went and picked them up yesterday in Ocala, Florida. Down there at Rainy Chrome Shop, Trucks, Parts, whatever you want to call that place. Really cool place. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get... I watched a YouTube video about how to replace the bumper. And it looked like the hardest part was getting the old bolts out. And so that's what we're going to be trying to do. But before we get started, I'm going to go over there and spray it down with some WD-40 and see if we can't get those bolts loosened up a little bit. I do have an air ratchet, but I don't have the impact ratchet. Mine's on the Fritz. So I do have a big pull handle. If I can maybe try to use that. And we'll see what we can do. Hopefully it'll be an easy swap out. When we replaced the hood mirrors, that was a piece of cake. That was easy peasy. Ellie Belly. She's gonna keep an eye on things, make sure Daddy don't mess it up. Ain't that right, Ellie Belly? Huh? Yeah. I'll watch you, Daddy. I'll keep an eye on you. All right. So we're gonna get started. We'll give you some updates later on. All right. So what we did was these 3 bolts right here are the ones I think we have to take out. So we went ahead, sprayed them down good with some WD-40. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take all these wires apart. These I don't think we have to mess with because these aren't, let's see. Yeah, zip tie. So we just uncut that zip tie. We have to unhook these because that goes to the fog lights and then it should come out. Now you see this and this. I keep finding this stuff in here. There was a bunch more. I already threw it out before I started filming. And what it is, I believe, was a bird trying to build a nest. Because that's the 3rd time since I've been home I've had to dig that stuff out of there. And how's it getting in there and the truck ain't even moving? So anyway, I think that's what it is. But anyway, this is the mount that the new bumper's gonna go. We're gonna mount it right here with those 3 bolts and 3 on the other side. So we're gonna try to take this whole thing apart and we'll see if it comes out. All right, we got the old bumper off. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Pretty easy to get it off. The mirrors were easy to get off compared to putting them on. So what I did was I stacked the boxes up on this side and set it off on that side first. Went over to this side, finished undoing the bolts and eased it down with my hand, and then just rolled it over on the ground. What we're gonna have to do is, there's our fog lights, right? The wire that runs all the way across. We're gonna have to fasten this wire all the way across on the other bumper as well. And we'll probably go and do all that before we attach the bumper. We'll put the fog lights in, have them ready to go. When I watched the video online, it showed them putting the fog lights in after they attached it. So I don't know. Let's see, we're gonna ease this down so we don't lock it. And then let's step back and see what the old truck looks like without a bumper. It looks goofy as heck, don't it, without a bumper? So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get our bumper and get it in there. Hopefully we won't have no issues with it. We'll be able to get it in okay. Like I said, we got to take all the fog light stuff loose and try to get it attached to the other one. So what we're gonna do now is go over here and get this one taken loose get it out of the box and see what it looks like and pray to the good Lord above it fits. I probably should have did that before I took the old one off, don't you think? Well, let's see if I made a mistake. We'll see. All right, so we're trying to put together a plan here. We're gonna go ahead and put it together. This bumper is extremely heavy. It took all I could do just to get it up on this table. If you'll notice on this end, I'll show you this one. See this bracket right here? This bracket? That bracket is where your fog lights go, right? Well, I appreciate that, Mr. APU. Thank you for cutting off just in perfect time. All right, so what we're gonna do is I took this bracket out. See, here's the bracket, I took it out and I went ahead and I mounted it on the side of the fog lights, right? So what I do, once I get it fastened to the fog lights like it needs to be nice and secure, I'm gonna put it back in here because it's easier just to fasten these 2 bolts down than to try to fasten these 3 down while it's still attached. So we'll do a quick walk around, look at it. It's gonna look good once we get it on there. So I thought about what we're gonna do. Oh, look at her, she's so sweet. Taking a nap. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the truck. I'm gonna drive it around and bring it in so the nose of the truck is right there over that slab where it's nice and level ground. And we're gonna use, that'll also lower the bumper down closer to the ground, and it'll make it easier for me to try to prop it up to put it on there. So let's see if we can't go ahead and get all the fog light stuff attached. I made a mistake yesterday. I should have bought new fog lights. I'll show you why. These little inserts right here that your screws fasten to, all of mine are loose. They just come right out. So I used some super Gorilla Glue adhesive and stuck them back down in there. And I'm hoping that's gonna hold them in place and they're not gonna come back out, hopefully, until I can get some new ones. And we're gonna do the same with this bracket we did with this bracket over here, and see if we can't get these things put in. And that makes it a lot easier than trying to bend your hands to fit in those tight places. It's a lot easier doing it this way. So let's get it done, see what happens. All right, so we ran into a small problem. The adhesive I put in here didn't hold, it came right back out. So what I did was I put this zip tie. This is a 400 pound, this will hold up to 400 pounds. This zip tie is super strong. And I used 3 of them all together, all the way around this bracket, around the thing, and it pulls it in tight. And that's gonna hold it in place. And I'm gonna be able to put this onto the thing, and it's gonna work just fine, I promise you. I got a feeling it's gonna work. I was starting to do 2 around. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go with the one that holds up to 400 pounds. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think it's 400 pounds. Nope, my bad. 120 pounds. Holds up to 120 pounds. So it should hold. And if it don't, we'll buy some new fog lights. How about that? All right, let's get this thing put in. All right, let's check back in. All right, so what we did was went ahead. I want to do everything I can while I got it up here on the table and it's easy to work on to get done. So we got our fog lights in. I'm gonna show you something now. I'm very disappointed. These fog lights do not fit. You can see the gap right there. There's a gap. They don't, and there's another gap. They don't fit in here like they should. Now there's slots right here. If you look right here, see these slots where you can slide it back and forth? I did that. I tried sliding it forward. There's also slots right here. If you look right here, right, they go up and down and back and forth. So you should be able to line them up. And I did, that was the closest I could get to being lined up. I went ahead and drilled my holes for my tag holder. So we got them in there, make sure they matched up good so we don't have to do no drilling while it's attached. So we went ahead and moved the truck over here. We took the cardboard box the bumper came in, cut it open. We're going to use it as a cushion so you don't scratch the bumper on the concrete. And you can see how much closer we are to the ground now with the brackets. Cause see, there's the bracket right there we're gonna have to fasten into, and we're gonna be pretty daggone close. We ain't gonna have to lift it up much. I got some firewood I'm gonna wedge under there to try to get it up to the right height where we can line up our bolts. Now, speaking of bolts, let's go over here and look at our bolts, because I want to tell you something. This thing has been worked on before, because this is the one bolt that came out from one side. See it? Look how big it is. And these are the other bolts that came out from the other side. See the difference? Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and get the bumper started, and I'm going to use these big bolts. I got 2 of them. I'm going to put one on each side to hold it in place. Once I see that it fits, and it's like it's supposed to be, then I'm going to go to town, buy some bigger bolts for the other 2 holes, and then that way we'll have all big bolts holding it. Because like I said, this is a heavy bumper. I don't want to use those little bolts. I'd rather use the big ones. So let's see if we can't get it on there. It's going to be a struggle, but we'll check back with you once we get it on. All right, we got some bolts in on both sides. You see I put a block up under it over here, use some blocks of wood over there. But you know what really did the trick? Check it out. I hooked the strap to the thing, ran the strap up here to this top bracket, used my ratchet right here, and ratcheted it up to where I can get the bolt holes lined up, put some bolts in it so it'll stay. Now all I got to do is take the ratchet off. I can get it loose. There we go. Voila. She's on there. All we got to do now is level it up, put the final bolts in it, and we're good to go. The hard part's over with now, baby. Yeah. I'm going to show you another problem I had. It took me a second to figure it out. Is you have to have the bumper slid out, then pick it up, then pull it in, because of that right there. You see that little right there? The bumper has to fit up on top of that. So when I put the rest of the bolts in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pivot it. See, I'm gonna bring that up, and it's gonna come up on top of that, and then we'll be good to go. And there's slots, so you can adjust these slots to where to fit like it's supposed to. But that was a little trick I had to figure out. It took me a minute to figure that out, but it's that way on both sides. So you go out, up, and in. See how it's up over on the inside of it over here? It's on the inside of it over here, see? Because I got the bolts lined up better over here. But we're going to go ahead and let the grill down, the hood down, and we're going to start replacing our grill, because we're going to go into town and buy some bigger bolts. I just want to make sure I don't need to buy anything for the grill while I'm in town. So the hard part's over with now, baby. Yeah. All right, we got it looking good. We got the grill off. We're fixing to do some work on it, put the new one on. This is the new one. Notice it doesn't have the Volvo logo in the middle. I asked him about it. He said we can't sell it with the Volvo logo in the middle because copyright. All right, so I just bought this screen here. It's brand freaking new, man, and these are not cheap. So I'm gonna keep it in case I have any issues with this one. I can replace it, because that one came with a screen. But I'm gonna keep this one because it costs so much. In case anything happens to that one, I can put this one in. Now, here's the Volvo logo. See the little silver bracket that runs through there? And if you look right close right there, see this here? That just, I think you can slide that off of that. We don't want to break these little spouts that are sticking up right here, because that's got to go through, and then you got to push these back down over it to lock it down. So we're going to try to ease those off and see if we can't save them, maybe reuse them, and try to get the Volvo logo off so we can put the Volvo logo in here and have it looking good. All right, y'all hang around and see what happens. All right, there we go. We got the finished product. Got the bumper on, fog lights in, got the new grill in. We did it all ourselves with these 2 arms and hands, a little bit of muscle. Yeah, I like it, looks good. Looks like a little gap right there, doesn't it? But it seemed like I remember there being a gap with the white bumper too. And we got the gap right there with the fog light. I don't know how to fix that. I've tried, other than manipulating the bracket to bend it or something. I don't know how you would do that. These are aftermarket bumpers, so they're not going to be perfect. They're going to be off a little bit. But yeah, we got everything in. This is new screen. This is new. This is the old Emlyn, because they don't sell the Volvo Emlyn, just the everything around it. So we use the old one, put back in there. Hopefully everything will stay and it won't fall out. We got new hood mirrors. We got new door mirrors. So we're rocking and rolling. All we got left to do is put our tag on, hook up our fog lights, and we are ready to go. I may throw some water on this thing in the morning, try to wash some of that pollen off. It's got a lot of pollen on it. See up there, all the pollen? So we'll see. Ooh, my hair is a mess. You have to forgive me for my bad hair. But yeah, the reason it's almost dark is because we went to town. I got the new bolts, put in some bigger bolts. Got it all bolted down good, and it ain't going nowhere. It's on there tight. And so hopefully we won't have no issues with it. It'll be good bumper. And a lot better than that other piece of plastic stuff that was on there. So if you liked the video, if you think it was a little bit educational, a little bit instructional, something that helped you out working with your Volvo, putting on a new chrome bumper or putting in a new thing, go down below, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the like button, share the video. And we'll appreciate it so much. Thank y'all so much. I hope this helped out. Like I said, I went on YouTube. I didn't find a lot of videos putting bumpers on, and I didn't see any converting from a plastic to a chrome bumper. So hopefully this one will help, and hopefully this answered a lot of your questions. And we'll see you next time when we do something crazy. In the meantime, be sure you subscribe to the Trucker Stable. Follow us. We try to upload videos a couple times a week at least. And the Duck Man is supposed to be back out with me, but he had a relapse with his eye, so it's going to be a little bit longer than we thought. So, but anyway, thank y'all so much for liking, watching, commenting, subscribing. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe and don't give up. No matter how hard that bumper gets to be put on, or the mirrors or whatever, you don't stop. You just keep punching.